Hello and welcome back to part 23 of this Tekkit tutorial series. Today we're going to be going over fillers, drawing tables and builders. It's going to be a fairly short episode as there's not much to really say about these, but they are very cool. So first of all, a filler is made from 2 gold gears, 2 dandelion yellow, 2 ink sacs at the top corners, landmark top centre, crafting table centre and a chest at the bottom. And this will get you a filler. Now this pretty much does what it says in the tin. It fills the area that you mark out for it in different patterns depending on what you want it to do. So next thing we're going to make is some templates. Now these are really easy to make, just all the outside filled with paper and some ink sacs in the middle. You'll need 2 templates for this today, and we need one of the templates for the drawing table and the other one is to actually copy a template into. So a drawing table is 2 diamond gears in the bottom corners, 2 dandelion yellows at the sides, 2 ink sacs at the top, landmark in the centre, top, crafting table in the very centre, and that template at the bottom centre. And this will get you a template drawing table. Sorry about that, I had a very unexpected rare phone call that I very rarely get a phone call, so sorry about that. So the next thing we're going to make is a builder. Now a builder's made pretty much the same as the filler, but instead of gold gears, use diamond gears instead. So it's got 2 diamond gears in the bottom, 2 dandelion yellow at the sides, 2 ink sacs at the top, landmark top centre, crafting table in the centre, and a chest at the bottom. Now, first of all, I'm going to go over the filler. Now, the filler has many recipes, and, well, not recipes as such, but filling techniques. So what I'm going to do is, we need landmarks for this, so you get your landmarks out and you place these down like so. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to build a little pole somewhere. Doesn't really matter where it is. Let's get a block to build with. I'm only going to make this fairly short as I don't really want it to do anything else. So if you right click this and then you right click the bottom one, you'll get your multi-layered landmarks set up instead of just a one flat plane. So next what you want to do is you want to power it with either an engine link or steam engines or higher. Red power engines won't work. Redstone engines won't work, I should say. So you put this down, it'll convert to the black and white stripy lines instead. Now if we look inside, we've got this this layout UI here, and for this for the filler, the top section, which looks like a crafting table, you'll need bricks for this, and I'm going to lay them out like this, and this is where you put the pattern. Now depending on the pattern in here is what the filler's going to do. So what I want to do is I want to fill in this hole, so you'll need bricks and glass, there we go, and you make a little flat pattern like so, like this, and you'll see it'll change into this. Now this symbol here, you can't take it out, it's not like a draggable thing, but the symbol will change depending on what you want. So I'll show you another one in a second, but if I just get some, let's see, some of, not double stone bricks, where are they? Just get lots of these stone bricks. Now, what it does is it doesn't fill the little area that you've got designated, it fills everything below this area. Unless for this specific pattern, that is. So I'm just going to fill this up nicely like that, and then as I take these out, and then I'll go and have a pier down here. Oh, and as you can see, it's filling up quite nicely. And it's because it's powered by an energy link with an MFSU attached to it. It will power this very quickly. Whereas a steam engine, it'd be like chunk, chunk, chunk. But this is just like layer. Now it doesn't look like it's filling the layers properly, but it actually is. It's just going. It goes back over them once it's done. And as you can see, it's burned all that already. So I'm going to fill this back up. Now what I like to do is I like to shift click them in so I can fill up the top filler box. And this allows it so that you can fill this up and then take these out, and then you can watch it as it builds, which is always pretty fun. Because my favourite bit's coming up. It's one of my favourite bits. One of the best things. Now it looks like I've got a chunk error here. Oh no, there we go. Here comes the noise. Have I run out? Has it run out? Oh, and the climax. Everyone's upset. Still haven't finished? Not quite there? And then it cuts it all down, nice and flat. So this is a filler. Fills and holes. It's very resource intensive if you want to fill a big hole like that. But for example, you can make things like over here, my little testing area. I've got stairs that it's made, and this is made by bricks like so. You can make a little house thing if I get some more bricks. Don't use double brick slabs. So if I do this, and then as you can see it's starting to fill up now over here, and this will make a hollow square in the area that you've set up. The previous one was stairs. You can fill this in completely and it will just make a block. And there's other ones you can do like side bits and whatever, but this is a good one because you can make like little square houses and everything. So I'll just leave that going and I'll come back to it in a bit, maybe. It's not really that interesting, making squares. So over here we're going to be looking at the drawing table. Now I've got a nice little churchy castle-y thing set up here with stuff inside and some ladders and a nice little room, and it goes up to the top on the battlements. Now I want 2 of these, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some landmarks like this, and just for the sake of being able to do that, I'll put it here actually. That was in the wrong place. Okay, so we'll just ignore that for now. So what you do is you set up your landmarks around like this. I'll move this one over because I want to be touching the nerd pole up in the air, and you light them up again, just right clicking the landmarks, and we're going to get our template drawing table out. And in here we're going to put the template from earlier, which I forgot to grab. Now don't worry about all these templates in here, they're the exact same thing, just with a different number. So what you do is you take your template and you put it in here, and what this is basically doing is copying the pattern of this building. So once it's done, you'll see it says template #2#2, which means instead of #0 on the bottom, it's now #2. So if you wanted to pick it out again, it's this one here. And what we do is we're going to take this over to our builder. Now these are a little bit temperamental and I haven't quite figured out how to get them pointing the right way yet, but what you do is you put it down and then you put your template inside of it, and that looks right, just about. No, it's the wrong direction, so we don't want that direction. So you've got you'd think it would just put it the right way you want it, but no. So you've got to mess about a bit with it and rotate it and whatever to get it the way that you want it to be. So that's there. So if I come over right over here, right on the other side, get lined up nicely, and then put the template in. Right, so we've got it facing the right way now, and it's nicely lined up. Now we're going to power this with steam engines and just let it go about its business. So I'm going to put one here, one here, one here. Make a little wall thing, and put one on top. Get some levers in, and we're going to fill these with coal. Now as you'll notice, the black and white stripy lines are in the exact proportions to what you copied off, which means that the template's copied successfully and everything's going well. So we're going to turn this on, and then we're going to look inside the template. Now in here, it's pretty much the same thing as the filler. You fill it up with the brick type that you want. Now there are some downsides to this, some of which being it thinks that things like torches, doors, ladders, it doesn't distinguish between block types, it just literally copies the block. So for example, it's going to build these out of blocks of the stone bricks that I've put in. So I'm just going to quickly skip ahead a little bit. Here you go, as you can see, this is probably the ladder here. Now this ladder has been filled with stone bricks, which isn't good. So that's the only downside to it. If you want to mass produce buildings, then It's a small price to pay if you can do it quickly. So I'll skip ahead until it's finished, or nearly finished, and we can talk about it a bit then. One thing to notice here is it will build in layers. So as you can see, it's done the ground layer, 2 blocks high, and what it did was it built these corners up, and then it realised it didn't need these corners, so it's just smashed them here. And now it's gone on to the next layer. And as you can see here, it's got candles. I think these are candles if I go and check. Yeah, look, candles and the floor. So that's the candles. Right, so it's been roughly 3 to 5 minutes. I haven't really timed it, but as you can see, it's starting to shape up. We're nearly onto the battlements now, and final stretch, and it doesn't really look anything like this one does. Now this one looks polished and nice and decent, whereas this one's a bit rusty, shall we say. I mean, look, it's just, what is it even doing? What is it doing? Now, one thing I forgot to say, or you should be aware of, is you don't actually realise how many blocks you've used. I had to refill this thing with the few little blocks that I put in. I had to refill it with some extra blocks because it just ran out so incredibly quickly. So here we go, it's doing the battlements, it's cleaning up the roof. Don't know why it's cleaning up the roof because it's going to have to fill this back in, I think. Oh, make sure you don't stand in the way of it, otherwise it will crush you, as I found out, as I've been crushed. I know I'm in creative mode, but you can still be crushed in creative mode. And the last little bit of battlements, cutting the battlements down, has to build it in 2 block chunks, as well I've noticed, has to build it in 2 block layers. So this is our lovely keep, we'll call it. So the door is roughly here, this is where the door is. There are no torches, as you can tell, but these blocks here are torches, so you can just get rid of these. Torch there, torch there, torch here. And then this is your ladder. This is the ladder that I put in. So I have to get rid of all this. And these blocks here are torches. And so you can see it's not perfect, but if you build a very basic house that you can then flesh out afterwards, it's pretty good, especially if you're making villages. You can just go into an NPC village, steal all their buildings and just put them wherever you want. Oh, and also stairs won't work. It won't place the stairs in the correct direction. So you have to put any like details and interior stuff in afterwards. So that's it for the end of this tutorial. Hope you've learned how to use builders, fillers and blueprint tables. If you have, there's a subscribe button at the top. Tell your friends, have fun in Tekkit, and I'll catch you next time guys. See you later.